Hey guys, time for another sneaker story. Today I'm going to share with you a pair of New Balance 550s that I picked up last year, I think. Yeah, last year. 550s had gone through quite a resurgence, I guess, because they are an older model. They came back, and thanks to ALD, they really did kind of hit the scene big a couple years ago. And they kind of fell off a little bit in the popularity, but I still think they're a great shoe. One of the things that I think is most important when you're looking at a pair of New Balance 550s is materials. If you watch my videos, you know that materials are super important to me. And I think a 550 is a shoe that really makes a difference in materials. There are 550s out there that have leather that's like plastic. It's really a bit of a disappointment for New Balance. There's other ones that are quite good, and you can look around a bit and you'll find good ones out there. I think I see more good materials now than I did, say, a year ago. So perhaps New Balance was listening to the complaints out there and has improved things. But this pair of 550s are an ALD collab, and they have excellent leather. So these are the 550s I'm speaking of right now. These are the ALD collab of 550s that came out earlier last year, I think. I was able to pick up these when they came out and used a New Balance point reward I had to get a few points, a few dollars knocked off over here in Japan. What first appealed to me, of course, is just the uniqueness of them. I think just the color itself is I jokingly call these like lawn mowing shoes. I don't have a lawn. I'm not going to be mowing a lawn anyway, my New Balances, but they look like they've been mowed in because they give this kind of greenish tint to the leather. But I think that's kind of unique. I like that. And the leather itself is where really this shoe is about. So if I can get a closer look, hopefully the camera will pick it up. You can see the quality of leather in this is quite good. It's a nice soft tumbled leather, and it's an honest tumble. It's not like a pressed in printed tumble. It's real soft quality leather. I'd say a little bit thicker than the average 550 and definitely a lot softer. You can see all the way through there, yeah. And that makes these shoes, of course, not only nicer looking, but they don't need any break-in time. I had a pair of 550s, gray and black, really basic ones that are very plasticky, and they definitely needed a break-in, and they never really were that comfortable. These, on the other hand, soft as a glove, really comfortable. I believe also if you can find 550s with a perforated toe like this, that's also going to help, obviously, because it's going to make it easier to break in and more flexible. It also make creases less noticeable if that's something that you're concerned about. But these 550s, these are, let's see, what's the model number on them? They are the BB550AY1. These things are still out there. I think New Balance Japan right now has them on sale, I think. Not in the States, maybe other places you can probably get them on sale. But they are a fun 550, very unusual coloring. I do like the netting mesh type style here on the end, the tongue, and other parts of the shoe. That's kind of unique. I don't know how great it's going to be for longevity, but I have plenty of shoes, so I'm not too worried about these wearing out too fast. But again, like I say, 550 is still great shoes. Very comfortable if you get the right materials, and this is a prime example of good materials. They're out there. I'll show you some more shoes, some 550s and definitely some 650s that have really nice leather as well. I think that you can appreciate them if they do fit a little better, and I think they look nicer too with the softer leather. It doesn't have to be as heavily grained as this, but I think that we're used to quality leather having a certain look and certain texture. So when you do pick them up, not only are they more comfortable, but with this kind of grain leather, they do tend to be, they look like they're a higher quality product because of that. So anyways, just my opinion. Of course, you may disagree and maybe don't like 550s at all anymore right now, which is totally fine. I mean, they had their boom and they're in a bit of a bust right now. You can get them on sale pretty much all the time. But just look for quality materials. I do find, this is my opinion, and I'll share some examples later on, that the 650s today almost always have consistently good materials. The 550s is still hit and miss, the new models. 650s are always pretty much good, soft, full grain leather. So if that's your thing, like it is mine, go out there and see what you can find. All in all, though, 550, great shoe. Has been said online, of course, that they do run a bit narrow, and I would say, yeah, they are a bit narrow, but curiously, they don't feel real tight around the foot. I do have a wide-ish foot. This is a 29 or 11 US, 29 centimeters. It is a half size bigger than, say, a Nike Dunk, an Air Force, or a Jordan for me, because those do tend to have a bit of a rounder toe box, and this is a bit longer. So there is that to consider. But while that's said, even though it does tend to be a bit narrower overall in shape, this half size up doesn't feel cramped at all, and actually does feel a lot more comfortable. And I think one of the comfort factors in that is that the way these things are made is different than other basketball shoes like the Nikes I mentioned, in that the leather wraps around the last. On the bottom has a full lasting board structure, which is stitched on the bottom, then the cup sole is stitched on top. So what that does for me is that the leather is wrapped all the way around, so you feel the leather wrapped around your foot, as opposed to where when I wear Air Forces, for example, that are wide but not wide enough sometimes, my foot will push out over and I'll feel this edge of the cup sole. That never happens in 550s because the leather wraps around, doesn't just go straight down and sewn in. It's wrapped around into the board and then sewn on the top. So you have leather actually wrapping around your foot completely in a 550. I think that's something that's important to consider, what's fundamentally different about how this shoe is made. Also, additionally, people talk about heel slip on 550s. I would like to say that is due to the fact that it has a full solid lasting board inside. So if you're not used to a lasting board shoe, that adds a lot of stiffness to the shoe until it's broken in. And it will break in nicely over time, but in the beginning, it's more stiff. So of course, when you're walking and you're turning you're turning your pressure on the ball of your foot, it's going to want to push down the back, and that's going to cause your heel slippage. So I wouldn't think heel slippage is a major issue unless it's really dramatic. It's something that's going to alleviate over time as it breaks in and add that lasting board inside and gets softened up. So don't worry too much about heel slippage in a 550. I do recommend going a half a size bigger than on Nike Dunks, Air Forces, or Jordans, whatever your size is on those. And also, as well, I'll show you my Asics EX89 basketball shoes. Also, those are 28.5 or 10.5. These I go a half size bigger, and I don't have problems with heel slippage after wearing them a bit and breaking them in around the ball of the foot area. It stops leathering. So that's just something to think about if you go looking for 550s. Great shoe, a lot of fun, so many colorways, so many materials. There's suedes and meshes available now as well for more breathability and versatility. Go out there, have a look, enjoy them. It's your life. Have fun with them, enjoy them. Get out there and enjoy and wear your shoes. All right? I will talk to you later on Sneaker Stories. Take care, everybody.